Have you ever considered buying a home but felt just a bit overwhelmed about what it means to buy a home? Well, in this video, I want to go over all of the steps involved in purchasing a home. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. So the first step in buying a home involves finding an agent. Now, if you're going to be spending $250,000, $350,000, $400,000, you want to be sure that you find a real estate professional that you trust. Somebody that you know that is going to dot all of his or her I's and cross all of his or her T's. So find somebody that you trust and somebody that you enjoy working with, because the buying process can be stressful at times. The second step, even before you go out to look at homes, involves settling your financing. How are you going to pay for this house? Most people aren't going to pay cash, and so they need to get a mortgage. And so what you'll have to do is go find a lender, somebody who's going to look at your finances and approve to give you a loan for this house or a mortgage. Now, I'll do a whole separate video on what is involved in finding a lender and what to look for. But basically, once you've talked to a lender and that lender has looked at your finances, that agency will give you a letter that says you've been approved for a loan for a certain amount. And that's very important, because in this market, in the Boise real estate market, no seller is going to consider an offer without a pre-approval letter, because they want to know that you in fact can pay for the house that you want to buy. So once you have a letter of approval from a lending agency that says that you can get a loan, and that's when the fun begins. That's step number 3. You get to go out and search the market. And that's where you get to go view homes with your agent, and you get to see which area of town you want to live in, look at the neighbors. Be sure to look at all things connected to the property. What does the neighbor's yard look like? Are there dogs there? How close are the schools, etc., etc. Once you've landed on a property that you think you want to buy, that's when you start to make an offer. Now, before you make an offer, your agent will do some research on similar homes in the area to see how much those homes sold for in the past 6 months. And that will help you to determine the current market value of that particular property. So once you've settled on a price that you want to offer, you submit the offer along with your letter of approval from your lending agency. You also submit a check to the title company. Now, that check is called earnest money, and it's usually about 1% of the purchase price of the home. And what that earnest money does is it shows the seller that you are earnest or serious, interested in purchasing this home. And basically it protects the seller in case you back out of the deal prematurely for no good reason. Once the seller accepts the offer, that's when your agent will order an inspection for the home. Now, an inspector will come out and look at the foundation, look at the electricity, the plumbing, everything, and tell you everything that is wrong with the property. And once you've looked at the list, you then look at all of those items and decide with your agent which items you feel the seller should fix before you purchase the property. Now, if you can't come to terms with the seller, you can back out of the deal with no penalty. In fact, you can back out even if the seller agrees to fix all of the things that are on the inspection list. So that is one of the contingency clauses in the contract. You can pull out if there's something wrong with the house or something that the inspection report shows that you're not happy with. Once you look at the inspection report and everything looks okay, and your seller signs off on the inspection report, agrees to fix some of the things or all of the things, the next thing your agent will do is order an appraisal. Now, an appraisal is something that is done by a licensed appraiser, a licensed professional. This person comes out to your home and looks at everything related to the property, compares the value of similar homes in the area, and determines the current market value of that home. Now, if the appraiser says that your home is worth less than what you agreed to pay in the contract, there are several things that you can do. First, the seller can agree to lower the price to match the price of the appraisal. Or if the seller doesn't want to do that, you can pay the difference out of your own pocket if you're really interested in the place. Or third, you can back out of the contract with no penalty. Once everything is settled with the appraisal, the next step involves the title company. Now what the title company does is checks to see that the seller in fact owns the property, and also checks to see if there are any problems with ownership. Are there any liens on the property, or is there anything wrong with the title itself? If there's something wrong with the title, you can back out of the deal with no penalty. So that's the third contingency. You have the inspection contingency, the appraisal contingency, and the title contingency. If everything comes back okay with the title, usually the inspector will come back to inspect the property one more time to be sure that all of the things that the seller said he would fix has indeed fixed. And if everything is okay with the reinspection, you then go to the title company to sign on the proverbial dotted line. Now you still don't own the house because the loan has not yet been funded and recorded. In Boise, that usually takes about a day. So after you go to the title company, there's about 100 pages that you sign. It takes about an hour. Usually it's not until 24 hours later that you actually get the keys and you get to actually move into the property. Once you get the keys though, that's the final step. The house is now officially yours. It has been officially funded, and the title has officially been recorded in your name, and you now are the new owner of this awesome house. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out other videos that I make. You can subscribe below and check back in every Tuesday. I make videos related to real estate and other things that are relevant to people living here in the Treasure Valley. So thanks for watching, and I will see you later.